On today's episode, I will give my review of Shinobi Art of Vengeance, my impressions of Everybody's Golf Hotshots, and go over everything announced at the September Nintendo Direct. It's time for the Lococast. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of the Lococast. I am your host, Elijah, aka Loco Lizard Man, and let's get right into business because there's a lot to go over today. We're going to start with my review of Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Developed by Lizard Cube and Sega, published by Sega, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is... The iconic Shinobi returns in an all-new 2D action platformer with a unique hand-drawn look created by the team behind the hit brawler Streets of Rage 4. That is the Steam description. Now, I went into this year skeptical, unsure if I was into these like action platformers. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound proved, yes, I am quite into them. This game took it to a whole new level. I really enjoyed Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I loved this game, for the most part. So, to get into it, it did take me, I want to say, just under 11 hours to beat. I think by the time, or no, just over 11 hours. By the time I beat the boss, it was probably about 11 and a half to 11 hours and 35 minutes, roughly. And it did not outstay its welcome, I will say that. I will give that a number of that time was me going back, replaying the occasional level, doing side stuff. So, I shouldn't even say replaying levels, because you could fast travel to different points of levels. But doing side stuff, trying to get bonus items, something else I'll go into more in a moment. The challenge of it was pretty difficult. For the most part, it was difficult, but, oh, I got this. The final boss, I will say, did have me eventually go, am I going to put this game down? At the final boss of the game. I did not. I stuck with it, beat the boss, felt great, in fact, but it did give me that real pause. It had me saying, I don't know about this. Thankfully, all worth it in the end, but just know it is challenging. It is not easy, but it's worth it. Now, as for extras you can do in the game, each level has in it a rift, which is like a secondary, more like a platforming trial, you could almost say. It has nothing to do with the level itself, but each level has one, and it's really testing your like platforming skills. No shock, my least favorite part of the game. But each level also had, I want to say usually, I think it's every level has 2 secret items, which could be a max health boost, or a max kunai boost, or a new outfit. Each level also has 3, we'll say hordes, more challenging hordes you can attack with, or you can fight. And if you defeat all 3 of those hordes in that level, you get a bonus move or item, or something along those levels. And 5 Oboro emblems, which you get these Oboro emblems and go to the shop, and as you get more, the shop will expand with new items. Going to the shop a moment. The shop is really cool because you can buy new attacks. I think by the time I was done, I did not get all Obero. I still had, I think, one more level up for the shop. But I think I bought one outfit, some max health boosts. I think maybe one or two of them. Kunai upgrade, different stuff like that. But it's a neat little extension to the game. The story. I want to get into the story a moment. The story is good, not great, but they did a good job of making the bad guy pretty badass when partway into the movie, or partway into the game, maybe closer to halfway into the game, you literally meet Death. And Death is like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He took my scythe. He is now Death incarnate. And I'm like, alright, you sold me on this bad guy being a badass. Like, that did a great job. But overall, the story is okay. There's a couple characters. None of them are, like, really memorable. Other than the main character, Joe, who literally just, every time he talks, just, every time he talks, that's what he does. Just, and Death was kind of cool. You have a character in your squad that I genuinely cannot even remember off the top of my head. And, like, I just beat the game 2 days ago. But, you know, it is what it is. The story isn't exactly why you're playing the game. It's just your vessel for playing the game. I want to say there were 1, 2, 3, maybe close to 10 to 12 levels in the game. Levels have replayability because you will get more items as you go that then you can use to go back and explore secret areas and other areas to get more Obero emblems or the secret items, stuff like that. Enemies there are different types of enemies. There are so many different types. Like, there's a guy who, like, flies and shoots. Bullets in this are, like, almost look like pellets in a way. So, but he shoots a bullet and, like, goes zigzag towards you. There's ninjas on the ground for you to attack. There's, like, shock troopers, you could almost call them. There are a bunch of different enemies, but the main thing that you will come up with is each enemy has a health bar and I don't know what the correct term is, but we'll call it rage bar. You can fill up, and when you fill up a rage bar, a symbol goes above their head, and you do a 2-button combo, and you do, like, this super attack that, like, auto kills anyone on the screen who has that symbol. The more people you have in that, like, with that symbol above their head, the more, like, health, extra health, money, etc. you get from defeating them. It's not always guaranteed you'll get health, but it's nice when you do. But the more you have in that state, and you do it one time, the more of the items you'll get. Oh, and I'll also give you, like, kunai. To refill your kunai, it starts with you being able to hold, I think, was 10 at a time. Maybe 5 at a time, something like that, I forget. But it starts with that. And, yeah, you kill the enemies in that style to get, like, recover some of those items. Some enemies will also have shields. Now, certain attacks are better for taking away their health. Some will be better for filling their rage bar. Some will be better for taking away shields. So it's kind of like using the right moves to attack these enemies in the most effective manner. One thing I do have to give that I absolutely adore about this game is, like the snippet said, unique hand-drawn look. The art style is beautiful, and it looks so hand-drawn and incredible and vivid. the color choices in this game are just perfect. Just incredibly perfect. Now, there are two more attack styles, I'll say, you can use in this game. Is when you get to there's a gauge up in the top of your screen that when it fills up, you can use Ninpo, which you start with 1, but you can get more throughout the game, and I think there's 8 total that you can use to, like, put in you'll use your face buttons. Now, I played on a PlayStation 5, so I use my face buttons, hold L1, and press a face button, you use that Ninpo. One is just a fireball, essentially, that is better for health. One is this, like, electric slide, I'll call it, where if the enemy is standing, like, where you slid, it'll just do constant damage. The water Ninpo is what is the word I'm looking for? A parry. It is a parry. That if you use it at the right time, it parries an attack. My favorite is the very last one you get. It takes a hot second to get ready, but like you have to use it and give it a moment, so like you can't get hit while you're getting it set up. But it's a snake that comes out of the ground and does some good damage. Then also, there is another bar at the top of the screen. It's not even a bar, it's like the picture of Joe. It's right next to your health bar. And when that fills up, you can use a ninjutsu. And there's different ones. One will refill all your health. One will damage everyone on screen. It's not something you get a whole lot. It's as you take and give damage, it will fill up. But, like, for example, Ninpo, you will fill up maybe 10 Ninpo before a ninjutsu gets filled up. I've gone multiple boss battle retries without a ninjutsu because just you're waiting for it to fill up again. The music at first is good, and like it never stops being good, but then like every boss battle has the same boss music basically. If it is different, I didn't notice. I'll put it that way. Which, come on, it was good music, but also like every boss battle was like, all right, here's the song again. Yep. Okay. It is a really, really good game. There are a couple things holding it back, but it is still fantastic. I give it an 8 out of 10. It is very much worth playing. It very well could test your patience, but it is a good patience tester. It is not going to be as hard as, like, say, Hollow Knight or Souls game or anything like that, but I would put it on the level of, like, a Ninja Gaiden. There is some challenge to it. It's not, simple. Next up, I have been playing Everybody's Golf Hot Shots. The new game, it's from Bandai Namco, and it is a PlayStation property. Released on, I think, everything. Maybe everything but Xbox, I forget. But I think everything. A couple impressions I have. I haven't done every game mode or anything, but I've done World Tour, which there are like 7 chapters for each character, we'll say. And essentially each chapter you do so far. Each chapter has been a 9-hole course. It's like I haven't completed a character yet. I've dabbled in 2 of the characters. It is the story mode, and there is like text and talking before and after each round, so in the chapters. But I haven't done too much of that yet. What I've mainly done is challenge mode. And what challenge mode is there are different levels. There's like novice, beginner, semi-pro. I don't know. There's like 12 different levels or something like that. And each level, you unlock the next one by beating one. And it starts at like the easiest. And each one will have maybe 8 courses. And when I say courses, It's usually all the same course, except one will be like, you have different variations. So there's the front 9 and then the back 9. There is normal, like, hole 1 to 9, and then there's reverse 9 to 1. There's nighttime golf, and then the occasional will have, like, triple sized hole, so it's much easier to get it in the hole. The rounds will either be official or unofficial. I genuinely don't know what the difference is yet, except all of the ones with like the supersized hole are unofficial rounds, but not all unofficial rounds have stuff like that. So I don't understand an unofficial round that's just normal but unofficial. Okay. But after usually like winning it, and let's put it this way, you can get like 1 through 3rd and it'll fill up a bar. If you win each one, usually winning 4 to 6 of them will completely fill up the bar, and it will give you an opponent to face. And if you beat that opponent, you unlock that character to use. And every time you beat one of these rounds, essentially, you unlock something for at the shop. The shop is a neat little thing. Every time you finish a round, you get coins. And at the shop, you can buy different balls, different clubs, all of which will do something different. One might have more power and less... there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it. More power and less, like, ball spin. Same with clubs. Like, so it varies with how you want to make your playstyle. You can unlock new outfits for characters. You can buy new paint, which is, I think, is to essentially change the color of outfits. I actually haven't discovered that yet, which is strange. Like, I have paints, but I haven't discovered how to use them. You can get food. Before each round starts, you can eat a food item, and that will be like, oh, so this round, I will have slightly boosted power. This round, my ball, I will have slightly boosted accuracy. Stuff like that. Just, you can eat a food each round, and it will just give you a little bit of a boosted effect. So far, I am really enjoying the game. I know a bunch of people are bummed there's no character creation, but it is what it is. I'm okay with it. I like using the characters that they have in the game. But yeah, that is everybody's golf. There's probably not one I'm going to give a full score, because I don't expect myself to like really beat it anytime soon. Because it's not one I play every day or that, but like every couple days I'm like, you know what, I'm going to play around. So it's a game that'll last me a while. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we are going to go over the last week's Nintendo Direct, everything that was announced, and all of it that intrigues me. We'll return soon. Hi, it's me, but in pre-recorded form. This is where a sponsor would go, but I don't have one. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you. To you. Yes, you, the listener, right now, who's hearing this in their ears. Thank you for making my stupid voice and wacky opinion on games and the game industry a part of your day. It honestly means a lot. If you enjoy it and want to help out even more, the biggest thing you can do is share it and leave a review on your podcast service. It really does help. Like, I know it's easy to say that, but it's a real thing. It helps. And your help could help the podcast grow even, potentially. And not saying this for everyone, but if you decide you want to help out even a little more, I do stream over at twitch.tv/localizardman, and feel free to drop a follow there. And if you have Amazon Prime, now this isn't for me. I mean, it could be, but really this isn't for me. If you have Amazon Prime, I want you to remember that you have a Prime sub. A free Twitch Prime sub every month that they don't tell you about. And don't forget to give that to your favorite creator. I'm not saying to give it to me. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not saying to. Give it to your favorite creator. Help them out. I want to just take this PSA moment to say, help them. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps them. Show your favorite creator some love, and I'm sure. I don't even have to say I'm sure they appreciate it. I know they do. So thank you, and let's get back to the episode. And we are back. Time to go over what was announced at the September Nintendo Direct. Now, we knew this was going to be a big one. 60 minutes, and it's the 40th anniversary of Mario. Mario is 40 years old. Those plumbers last. But we knew it was going to be big. So let's get right into it. I will say I'm not the biggest Mario person. So I will try and give what info about these that I can. There is one I'm going to be somewhat critical of, but I will do what I can to give the info on ones that I am not the best equipped for. So let's start at the very beginning. I'm going to go through the whole run of show, and we will go from there. First up, they gave a brief glimpse of the new Mario movie and gave us the title, The Super Mario Galaxy Movie. I am okay with this. Give me more Rosalina. All I'm going to say. Just all of the Rosalina. I'm here for it. Please. Also, they gave a date, and I can't remember what... April 3rd. April 3rd, 2026. And, yes, I will be in theaters watching that. We also got what was expected for a while, and they finally did, a Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 pack, you could call it, for Switch. I think it's really cool. The problem is, it is $70. Not saying they're not good games and all, but $70. And it's a Switch game as well. It's not Switch 2 or anything. It is Switch, and they already gave us Mario Galaxy in the Mario 3D All-Stars collection. It was $60. You got 3 games. This is $70, and you got 2, or you can buy it alone for $40. You can buy each game for $40. Like, that's my only big problem, is they gave us Mario Galaxy before, and it's not like they're remakes. Someone did point out it isn't like the same Mario Galaxy from that. It is a tad touched up, but is it touched up enough for what is not a huge difference? That I would love to play these. I cannot rightfully spend $70 on them. They also announced Mario Tennis Fever. Oh, by the way, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 launches October 2nd. They also announced Mario Tennis Fever, launching February 12th, 2026. It has their biggest roster. I think, what did it say? 38 characters, maybe? It is the biggest Mario Golf roster, or Mario Tennis roster. Still have golf on the mind from everybody's golf. And there's new Fever rackets, each one that does a different thing. Like, one multiplies you, one puts ice on the ground, different stuff like that. Each one has an ability like that. Then, in spring, Super Mario Wonder is getting a Nintendo Switch 2 edition. It will include a new area, I don't know if it's a new, like, full-on level or what, called Meetup in Bella Bell Park. I think it has more, I think it's mainly, if I remember it, I think it's mainly more multiplayer stuff. Which, in a way, makes sense, because Nintendo likes doing multiplayer stuff. Then, the last in the Mario announcements that we got is coming in spring, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which Now, I don't know too much about Yoshi games or anything, but I did, but I know one person on a podcast I listened to said it looked like it was essentially a sequel to Yoshi's World. If that does something for you, there is a new Yoshi game coming out that you should be paying attention to. That was it for the Mario stuff, but there was still quite a bit announced. Excuse me. We have out now Storm Lancers, a like multiplayer isometric, I would probably call it, multiplayer isometric game. It looked fun. It looked like it could be fun. Out November 5th is Dinkum. That is a word. That sure is a word. Dinkum. Which looks like a, somewhat like a cozy town builder game. Then we had, also in the realm of that is a word, Popucom, which my mind almost says different every single time. And it's kind of like a action music game kind of thing, which seemed pretty cool. I don't know if it's one for me, but it seemed neat. That is out holiday 2025. Then spring 2026, we have Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. I'm not gonna lie, this looks kind of cool. If you've never played Tomodachi Life, I never have either, but it seems to me very reminiscent of almost like Animal Crossing. Which, okay, you had me at Animal Crossing, but it's that same general style. I think it uses Wii's. Mii's, not Wii's. Wii is the console. Mii are the characters you create. It uses Mii's, and there's weird talking in it that definitely didn't make my mind go very strange. Then, out October 30th, now I will say this, it wasn't announced in here, but I read it. October 30th digitally, actually, I think it was on the trailer. October 30th digitally, I want to say it was like December 12th or something physically, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which I found hysterical because in this trailer, the blood was taken out. To make this trailer, they literally took out the blood. They turned the blood effects off. I just find that very funny. But that is coming. I'm super excited for that because it's going to have like interviews. It has most of the original Mortal Kombat games, which is so freaking cool. I love those games. Like, the older Mortal Kombat games are my jam. And they added, at first, it wasn't announced, and then they eventually did, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, which was the one I had and played a ton. So I'm really stoked for that. Out January 22nd is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Yeah, I love Final Fantasy, so yes. I don't have a Switch 2, but I'll probably get Remake Intergrade when it comes out. Then I'll have it. So just yes. That's all I've got. Yes. Then, out now for the Switch and Switch 2, Linked Banner of the Spark. It looked like a neat little game. I know people on podcasts were talking about that they've played it, and then I don't know if it was early access or what, but I've heard good things. Now, out on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, Hades 2. I'm super excited for this game. Nintendo isn't my main console or anything, but you're damn right I'm going to get Hades 2 on the Switch. It releases September 25th, which is not long at all from, if you're listening to this close to when I post it, or if you're listening to it later, it's out now. With a physical copy coming like November roughly November 17th. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but roughly November 17th. And I'm going to wait for the physical copy, because why not? That gives me time to play the games that are coming out now that I'm excited for. But we are finally getting 1.0 of Hades 2 full release, and I am stoked. Next up, releasing for the Nintendo Switch 2 on November 6th, we have Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. Look, I did not like Breath of the Wild. I have no interest in playing Tears of the Kingdom. I will play the crap out of Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. I want to get all the Hyrule Warriors games. I love those games. I loved Fire Emblem Warriors. I don't like the main Fire Emblem series. Not a big strategy RPG person. But Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment? Oh god, yes, give it to me. I'm so ready. Beat the crap out of people using Zelda. And yes, I'm using that correctly because I know Zelda's a playable character. Don't come at me. I'm okay. I'm sorry, I'm hyper. It was a very good day. Next up, for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, releasing February 5th, 2025, is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Definitely a remake, like, I want to put that, not a remaster or anything, it's definitely a remake of Dragon Quest VII. I would be down to play this eventually. It's not going to be one for me, even remotely, anytime soon. But I think it's really cool. And I'm glad. And I know people who are stoked. And I'm super excited for them. I think it's really neat that they're doing this. Games that definitely could use a comeback. Dragon Quest VIII I do want to play. So I hope they do that soon too. And then coming for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 on February 17th is Nintendo Classics Virtual Boy. Which sounds awesome to not many people. To me, yes. But that sounds awesome. What you need, though, is at the very least a $25, I think it is, cardboard VR thing. It's basically the Labo, in a way. But it's a cardboard VR thing that you put the console in and, like, put up to your head to play, or for $100, and I want this, I am not going to lie. For $100, there is a like plastic Virtual Boy stand you can put the console in. And let me tell you, I want that there stand. Should I want it? No. Do I? Yes. I'm excited to play some Virtual Boy games. I never have been able to because, not shocking, I don't have a Virtual Boy. I know. Not yet. Next up is probably my game of the show, which I know not many people would agree with this or have the same opinion, but I am incredibly excited. Launching in early 2026 for Nintendo Switch 2 and PS5 and Xbox, I believe, and PC. It doesn't say that here, but Koei Tecmo said it. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake. Let's go! I love the Fatal Frame games, but I've never played the original 3. I've wanted to, but I've just never had a chance, the ability to. I'll finally get a chance to play 2. All 3 original games are somewhat expensive, so I want to get them. I just haven't had a chance yet. But I am so stoked for this. I can't wait. This got me so excited. Then, in Nintendo Switch 2, releasing this fall, on Nintendo Switch 2, that's it. Releasing this fall is One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Again, the Warriors games, I enjoy them. I would play this game. I probably have this game. I have a number of the Pirate Warriors games. I think I might have this game. I know I have 3. But, yeah, anyhow. Then, also releasing this holiday is Overcooked 2 Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. In spring is Human Fall Flat Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. And the one that I know most people are going to be stoked for, Stardew Valley Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that it was announced that if you have it for the Switch, then there will be an upgrade path, which I think is pretty neat. Out of curiosity, I looked. I have One Piece Pirate Warriors, I have One Piece Pirate Warriors Japanese for the PS3. I have One Piece Pirate Warriors 2 Japanese for the Vita. I have One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 Japanese for the Vita. And I have One Piece Pirate Warriors 3 American for the PS4. I don't have 4. The next game that they showed off that, God, I'm so ready for, give us a date, is Power Wash Simulator 2. All we know is it's coming this fall. It was summer, but they moved it back to fall like a month or two ago. I am so ready. Just give me Power Wash Simulator 2, please. I will play the crap out of it. I don't think people understand. I will drop everything for Power Wash Simulator 2. Yeah. That is weirdly true. Next up, they announced for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 coming winter 2026. That seems like a far... I don't know if that's a typo or not, but... Suika Game Planet. I don't know much about Suika Game. I know of it. And I know, like, people are crazy for that game. I've never played it. I've never even seen it being played. But there is a new one coming out. They gave off a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4. And can finally say, coming for the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 on December 4th, 2025. They then showed off a new Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, DK Island and Emerald Rush. And it is out now. And from what I've heard people say, it is a roguelike. Which is interesting. Not a bad choice, it's just I did not see that coming, you know? Then a very, very strange game was announced that I'm kind of here for. Pokemon Pokopia. Which looks basically like Minecraft Pokemon, where you play as a Ditto that transforms into a person. And you gain abilities from other Pokemon and can use their stuff to, like, make land and pawns, and it is really strange, but you know what? I am here for it. I appreciate that kind of strangeness. The next trailer was something. We got a new trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA, which, heck yeah, I'm excited for that game. And a trailer for the first paid DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA. This was more than a month before the game was coming out. And they're like, alright, here's your first look at paid DLC. I just want people to remember how mad they were that Assassin's Creed Syndicate did this. Just gonna put that out there. I hope they were as upset this time. Then we got a game that I don't know if we really needed a remake, but you know, here we are. Danganronpa, I think it's 2x2. It is a remake of Danganronpa 2, but by making a certain choice at one point, there's like a whole new story to it, which is fascinating, and I'm going to play the crap out of it because I love Danganronpa. But I don't know if we, needed a remake. Next off, they showed the Nintendo Switch 2 port of Dynasty Warriors Origins, along with announcing that there's paid DLC coming. That port comes January 22nd, 2026. Then a new trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, which will be releasing on March 13th, 2025. Then, probably in the most surprising thing to me, we got a new trailer, which used some of, like, old trailers and that, but there is some new stuff in there, for Resident Evil Requiem, coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. look, I will first say I'll believe it when I see it, for like how it will run, but also good on them for. I just have lack of faith in power, but I am conditioned to that because of Switch now. It's nothing against Switch 2. It's just a habit I need to break. But coming that same day on February 27th, 2025, is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Resident Evil Village. It is a very strange choice to have all three of them come out the same day. I don't know who made that choice, but it's an interesting one. I will say that. The last announcement of the show is a new entry in the Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. And while I am not the most up on Fire Emblem like lore or how each game connects to each other, I did play some of Three Houses. That was actually the first main series Fire Emblem game I played. And the end of this trailer shows a character that is in Three Houses. So there is a connection. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure how much they normally connect, but there is a connection there, which I think is neat. But that was everything shown off at the Nintendo Direct. There were a bunch of good games in here, even games that may not be for me, but I know people are going to love, and I'm excited for that. Next week's episode is going to be a little special. It is going to be a huge episode all about indies. I'm excited. I've polled on Blue Sky asking people what their favorite indie games are and why. So I'll be reading them off as well as giving a list of indie games I absolutely love for different reasons, different occasions, etc. So I'm very excited for that one. And we did have the 6-1 indie showcase, which I am going to save. It will be a little later, but I am going to do an episode where I go over the 6-1 indie showcase. And supposedly, if it's true, there may be a PlayStation State of Play next week. So if it's true, I will go over both the 6-1 indie showcase and the State of Play on the episode 2 weeks from today. So we've got some good things planned and coming. I appreciate everyone for hanging out today and sticking around. And until next time, good night, listener. Good night.